All right, today we're going to talk about something that sounds simple but can be surprisingly tricky, giving the perfect tour. Whether you're showing clients around a fancy office or maybe investors around a busy factory, we're going to break down exactly how to make it an experience they won't forget.
So does the idea of showing guests around your workplace make you just a little bit nervous? If it does, trust me, you are not alone. It seems so easy, right? Just walk and talk. But man, that pressure to make a good impression, it's real. So how do we flip that stress into a total success?
But here's the great news. Giving a really good tour isn't some kind of magic power. Nope, it's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can get amazing at it. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now.
So what is the secret then? What's the trick to turning one of those kind of awkward, silent walkthroughs into a tour that actually impresses your guests and makes them feel like you really value their time?
Well, it's probably a lot simpler than you think. The whole secret? It all comes down to just two simple but super powerful pillars. If you can get these two ideas down, you're gonna be set every single time.
Okay, pillar number 1. This is all about doing your homework. Seriously, a great tour doesn't just happen when your guests walk in the door. It starts way before that. It starts with preparation.
So what kind of homework are we talking about here? It really just boils down to knowing two things and knowing them well. Your guests and your own site. I mean, who are they? What do they do? A quick peek at their company's website or their LinkedIn profile can give you huge clues. This helps you shape the tour around what they'll actually care about. Oh, and don't forget to think ahead. Who are the key people they should meet while they're there?
And right away, this is where all that prep work pays off. Just start the tour with this one simple but incredibly powerful question. It immediately tells your guests, hey, I've thought about you, I value your time, and this experience is going to be for you.
All right, homework's done. Check. Now let's talk about pillar number 2, reading the room. This is where you go from being the planner to being the performer, the guide. It's all about being flexible and being able to adapt in the moment.
And here's the most important thing to remember for this pillar. A great tour feels like a conversation, not a lecture, right? It's this delicate balance between the plan you made and whatever your guest is curious about right then and there. The real magic happens when you can manage that balance.
Okay, but how do you actually do that? I mean, how do you manage the flow of the tour so it feels natural and keeps everyone engaged?
It all comes down to one thing. Knowing when to let your guests take the lead and knowing when it's your turn to step in and guide things to keep it all moving and interesting.
Let's break that down. So on one side, you're giving your guests control. You're asking them questions, letting them decide the pace. But on the other side, you're taking control when you have to. Like maybe you need to speed things up a bit if you're running out of time, or you decide to skip a section that's, not really grabbing their attention.
This little phrase right here, this is going to be your best friend for letting your guests take the wheel. It's so polite, so simple, and it puts them in the driver's seat to decide the pace. It just shows you respect their time and what they're interested in.
And here are a few more just like it to add to your toolbox. All of these are just simple, direct ways to check in with your guests and let them steer the ship for a bit. When you use them, the whole tour just feels more like a team effort. It's respectful.
Okay, but what about the flip side? We've all been there. You look over and you see it. Your guest is checking their watch. Or maybe their eyes are just kind of glazing over. That is your signal, your cue to politely take back the reins.
And this is such a great way to do it. Instead of just saying, okay, let's go, a phrase like this actually builds a little excitement for what's coming next. You're not just stopping one thing, you're starting something even better.
These phrases are perfect when you need to confidently guide the tour. See how they're clear and they get the point across, but they're still totally polite? They help you manage the clock and make sure you hit all the best spots without getting bogged down.
All right, let's wrap this all up. We've gone through the two main pillars of a great tour, doing your homework and being flexible. So let's just nail down the key takeaways.
So, to recap, what's the secret recipe for a perfect tour? Well, you start with your homework, always. Then you kick things off by asking what they want to see. After that, it's all about that dance, that back and forth between giving them control and taking control yourself. And the number one golden rule through it all, be flexible. A truly great guide can always roll with the punches.
And I'll leave you with one last thing to think about. Before you give your next tour, ask yourself this simple question. What is the one single thing you want this guest to remember when they leave? Is it how innovative your company is? the passion of your team, maybe it's your amazing work culture. Whatever it is, knowing that answer will help you tell a focused story. And that's what creates an experience they'll never forget.